cooking show. You can see, got Castle Grayskull I'm wearing. I'm in the middle of making a He-Man movie, which will be on YouTube next month, which is real soon. I'm not going to say when next month. Next month. Okay, today is going to be, I'm going to show you the best way I know possible of how to make macaroni and cheese. Now, a lot of you just buy a box of macaroni and cheese or in a box. That's the end of it. But I'm going to show you how to add flavor and pizzazz in a non-traditional way of making macaroni and cheese. I have here, and I sure have to hold it up, a box. The exposure's bad. Hold on, folks. I'll take care of this. There we go. A box of elbow macaroni. The traditional way to make macaroni and cheese. Also, I have a box of rotini. Okay, now, as you can see, I've already put water in this pot, and I've set the stove on high, and my stove has something in it apparently because it's burning. Now, everybody knows, traditionally, everybody that's a cook or anybody knows that when you boil water for pasta, you are supposed to use oil. Now, some people like to use olive oil, which is traditional when you are boiling pasta noodles. I like to use vegetable oil because it's less fat and it's better for you than olive oil, and it's less expensive. You try buying olive oil week from week at the grocery store, you're going to be paying out the wazoo. Now, I am adding my oil to... Now, of course, you're going to add salt later to noodles after you drain them out of the water. See, so I don't really see the point, but people say that that's to keep the noodles from getting bland. Now, as the old saying goes, water in the pot never boils when it's being watched. So we'll step away for a while and get right back. And we're back, and as you can see, our rotini noodles have already, the water's boiling. I've added the noodles. I've decided to go with only one kind of noodle, as it will do. I'm taking my spoon now, and the essential to these noodles is that they don't stick at the bottom of the pot, or, well, they will burn. And you don't want burned noodles at the bottom of your pot. So now I am stirring the noodles, as you can see. And this process takes, I let the noodles cook for about 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes. So we'll let those boil up a storm as we're doing now, and we'll be right back. Now, as you can see, I've already drained the noodles out of the pan. There are no noodles in the pan. Now we go over here, and this is, even though it looks yellow, it is margarine. I believe in using margarine for less fat. Now what I've done here is I've gotten a really big spoon, and it can be a serving spoon that you find in any part of your house, and I put the margarine in this pan, and you can see there are certain spots that it's scorching in that are already turning brown. So what you want to do when you put this in the pan is to continuously stir it around, because margarine or butter or anything of that nature will scorch the bottom of your pan and ruin it. See there? You don't want this. Now the reason I'm buttering the bottom of this pan is because the pan the heat is still on. I turned it off just now, and when the noodles go into the pan, they won't stick. And of course I will add more margarine on top of the noodles. Just sometimes you gotta squeeze it to get it out there. That's enough. Parsley flakes. Just a little bit of that. Garlic powder. You can never have too much garlic in a dish of this magnitude, I always say. My favorite, garlic salt. Now you don't want to use too much garlic salt. You don't want to overpower it with the saltiness. Now since there's already margarine in this pan, it should be smooth enough to mix those ingredients together. You want to give it a quick stir. You don't want to stir it too much, but you want to stir it enough to where the ingredients mix in with the noodles and don't stay at the bottom of the pan. We go over to our margarine. See the serving spoon, and we get another good dip of the margarine. There we go. And we take it back over to the pan and right on top of the noodles. And now what you want to do to get a good melted cheese, you don't cut it in squares, you don't cut it in blocks, you put the whole You might want to give your cheese 10 to 15 minutes to melt, and what in the microwave for about 3.5 minutes. That should give our cheese long enough to melt. In the meantime, what I have done is I've turned off the stove because we don't want this stuff to burn and scorch. So I will take it off the burner. There we go. And when our 3.5 minutes are up, I will resume filming. As you can see, it's 3:10. So as you can see here, I have a jar of dip. It's French onion dip, but it contains sour cream. Now this dip is left over. Now what I'm going to do is put a few globs of dip into the cheese, which you have seen has already melted, and some edges it is scorched, which is okay. When I add this, it's smoothing it out. Then I'll put it back into the microwave for the remainder of the time. Anything you have laying around your kitchen can be used as ingredients. I found a bag of uneaten Lay's chips in my kitchen that I am now compressing and smushing down to make for a nice crispy crunch to add to the flavor. Now, as you can see, our cheese sauce is nice and creamy, and adding that French onion dip really did the trick. It made it a nice creamy cream sauce. My camera lens is fogging up. Now, most of you, of course, will not have French onion dip in your refrigerator, and it doesn't matter. You can use sour cream. You can add more butter to the mix. The sour cream, however, is very essential, excuse me, into making a nice, creamy cream cheese sauce. Now I will add our cream cheese sauce to the mix. As you can see, I've already put the chips in there and all nice and crushed up. Oh boy, doesn't that, oh boy, that looks delicious. Now put this in the sink. Now what you want to do is stir this very thoroughly. You want the cheese to blend in into each and every single noodle. And then when you're done with that, that's it. It's ready to serve. And let me tell you, it is delicious. So next time you're having a hankering for some good macaroni and cheese, just remember what I showed you. Until next time, this is Mr. Jeremy signing off. So long, food lovers.